Yes, I recently used Megabus Canada. I found the service very unsatisfactory. Uh, when my bus did not arrive to return to Toronto, I was later informed that I was to have taken a different bus line back, which I had no knowledge of. I was forced to buy a return ticket, spend the money out of my own pocket, and wait a further 8 hours for the next bus, leaving me very frustrated and upset and very dissatisfied with my service for Megabus. They did ultimately respond to my emails with an offer to reimburse me for the costs out of pocket, but I felt that was late and really insufficient given the circumstances. I had decided to spend a day and a half down in Buffalo just to see some architecture and visit the art gallery, etc. I never generally traveled by bus. I've never traveled by Megabus before. I booked online my tickets, got to Buffalo, spent my time there. At the appointed time for my return bus to Toronto was I think 11:10 a.m. or possibly 11:15 a.m. I arrived there about 40 minutes early. At the bus depot is predominantly for Greyhound. They have a big counter there, but there's no representative or any such thing for Megabus. So I just had to find a little corner in the bus depot where their buses park for passengers, which is also used by Coach Canada and Coach USA. Um, I waited for one of the very distinctive mega buses to arrive, and there were some Coach USA and Coach Canada buses coming, but no megabus came. I waited a while. There was a young woman there who was upset because the bus did not come. She was in tears, but the local happened by and he told us that not to worry, they sometimes do run late. After waiting a long time, um, I I didn't have roaming privileges on my phone. I did have change, but I borrowed somebody else's phone and called the number posted. And I was told to hang up and call back and speak to their supervisor, which I tried. And they in turn told me to call the Canada Megabus number. So I did that. Um, I spoke to a woman who's very unhelpful and unfriendly, who chose to make it out as though it was all my fault, insisting that I should have known that I was to get on one of the Coach Canada buses. Um, I was very surprised at this comment because I would have no reason to believe I was to get on anything but a megabus coach. Um, but she insisted that it was clear on the website that another bus line might provide the service, that a Canada Coach might provide the service. I did ultimately look at the website, and buried under the terms and conditions, under legal definitions, I believe it was in the terms and conditions, there is a small line in there about services between Buffalo and the international border and into Canada possibly being provided by another carrier. But as I said, it was buried deep in the terms and conditions under some obscure point that I'd have no reason, no usual rider would have reason to read. Um, I, I pointed out that I didn't think this was reasonable. She insisted I should have at least asked the bus driver. I did actually ask a Canada Coach bus driver about Megabus, and he said he was unable to help me and that he was there because they used the same parking spot, the same spot to let passengers on and off the bus. And beyond that, he couldn't help me. When I relayed this information to the woman on the phone, her only response was that it didn't make sense, implying that I was making the whole thing up. Um, I'm no fool. I've been a consumer of many products over many years. I know generally what to expect when I make a purchase, and really did not seem right. And she told me I had no choice but to purchase a second ticket. which I did online. Had to spend another $29 and change Canadian on a bus ticket back to Toronto. I live on a limited fixed income, so that's no small amount to me. And worse yet was that my first bus, my original bus, was to leave at 11 a.m. and the bus that that I now had to take was not due to leave till 7 p.m. So I was left with very little to do except sit around or wander around downtown Buffalo without really anything to do and having to purchase extra food. And I ended up very tired and frustrated by the time I got back to Toronto. Uh, I did write letters to Better Business Bureau and to Megabus. They have since replied, ultimately in an apologetic manner. They did say that they would refund to my credit card the amount. I haven't seen that yet. It hasn't appeared on my statement, so I will have to pursue that. But it seemed I only got that response because I made a lot of noise, and I made it very clear I found the way that I was treated and the whole process to be kind of ridiculous and unfair. Well, they have responded that they will reimburse me. As I said, I have not as of yet seen the credit to my credit card, but I have no sense of reassurance that this can't continue to happen to other consumers. I mean, the the point that their service could be provided occasionally by another carrier, i.e., Coach Canada, as I said, is buried deeply in their terms and conditions where nobody normally is likely to come across it unless they're obsessively reading over the whole website. So I think it's very easy for this sort of thing to reoccur, and I'd like some reassurance from them that they're going to make provisions that this information is clearer so that this won't happen to people like myself again. My review, just to inform other consumers that they should be wary of Megabus. I have seen quite a lot of other negative reviews for them, rude drivers, inadequate service, any number of things. It seems very much like a company that doesn't necessarily care a great deal about the consumer as long as they're putting bodies in their seats. And they do that with their cheap prices, but they really don't seem to care about the low quality of service they ultimately provide to many people.